This is my story. You know, just like anyone else who wants to share their story as well, don't sit there and have any fears that you're going to offend any of your family with your truth, because it's your story and it's your way of healing and also holding them accountable. And if they have issues with it, then that's on them. But I had my first spot when I was 9.
Wow.
Yeah, I learned that weed made you happy. Without it, you're not happy. Because my dad, without it, he would just beat me up. Daddy's girl I would always hold on to the good, you know, and forgive him. So growing up, you know, I had nicknames like Fly Shit Face, things like that.
From who?
My mum.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's rubbish.
My kids, and then that was just this massive, I don't know, it was like, what do they call
Wake
it?
up cool. What is the
Epiphany.
boob lady on
Epiphany.
Boob lady, eh?
Yeah, off Simpsons.
Can you sing the song?
No.
No, bypass. Whoever put that in the Hot Topic box, banned.
We had
They'd come in and there's an extension cord around my door handles in my hallway, and I draw up against it, and they're like, you know, what's happening there? And I said, oh, people are coming into my house.
And then I abused alcohol for 7 to 10 years. I drank a lot, 3 times a week, all the time. It
Through
wasn't
healing my inner child is that she did a lot of things to keep herself safe, to remain accepted.
Do you think also it might have come from like being afraid to not do those things so that you didn't get a hiding or
Yeah, exactly. To keep
to
myself
please
safe.
everybody else?
Yeah. Yeah. And at the time, my daughter was 9. And so letting out all the feelings in this book and then looking up and seeing my daughter at 9 years old, it broke my
Discuss
heart.
the natural things that are happening that aren't natural, but you think they are as a kid. Like I grew up, I haven't spoken much about my upbringing and stuff, but like
they
I grew
want
up
to be accepted. They want to stay safe. You know, it's the cycle replaying. And it's just all stems from secrets, generations and generations back, and no one having the courage to speak up.
We went through process of that with my wife to put her abuser behind bars, and man, it's just such a journey. I had to write, be on the journey with her.
But we went into emergency housing for 6 months. Then I was offered a house. I swore we wouldn't smoke it there, but we did. And that house became my hell. Went and admitted to a lady at Women's Refuge that I was addicted, and also wanted to get a protection order on the kid's dad. My brother was messaging me, because I'm on a downer, I don't want him to see me like that. I didn't reply. 2 days after Christmas, I got a phone call that my brother was at the river and he's unconscious and they're trying to resuscitate him. So on that, like, it was more in counselling I did, and I realised, oh shit, yeah, that's actually disgusting, because what had happened, I didn't see it as sexual abuse, right, until I brought it up in counselling. And then obviously knowing that, because when it happened to me, I was young, and that was the light bulb moment for me, that I could really turn what's happened to me into something positive and be impactful in the community.
The podcast is already making a statement and breaking stigmas, and it hasn't even been released. It's only been in this room already. So that's powerful.
So can I just...
Welcome back to the Making a Statement podcast. Bro, is this episode 15?
15.
Fuck, oh, it is too. Oh, shit.
You already started.
Okay, so that's the perfect start to introduce our rangatahi jar. So this here, every time we do what I just did, we put 50 cents into this jar, and I've got some money to pop into it. Give me a second. Gonna quickly, we got brother E over here.
Hi, I'm Ethan.
And behind ones and twos, we got Cuzzy DJ TJ driving the behind the scenes.
Kia ora, I'm Trevor.
That's the one. So I'm going to chuck $20 in this rangatahi jar right now, real quick. So this is going towards something for the youth in our community when it hits $500. And we're almost there.
We are getting there.
So Good way to start the episode. I don't think that's the fastest I think anyone's ever sworn. I think I swore on the second word. But yeah, my name is Dilz. This is Making a Statement podcast. We're all about breaking the stigma. We talk uncensored, unfiltered, unscripted, and unedited. That means this is just raw kōrero. Like, it's just open conversation. There's no, script to it. This time around, I've introduced these guys. I'm going to introduce our guests on the hot seat. We've got Samantha Atkins. She is a facilitator of an addiction support group after beating her own battles in addiction. Survivor of emotional, sexual, and physical abuse, which is crazy and horrible. And I'm getting emotional just thinking about hearing your story. And you come from a dark past, and you're about to talk to us about the light that you're creating for your future and the future for others. So I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you, Samantha. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Kia ora tātou. Ko Sam tuku ingoa. I am a proud mama of 4 pepe. Currently, I am embracing the beauty and ugliness of self-discovery in addiction recovery. Kia ora.
Yeah,
Amazing.
crazy. I'm looking forward to hearing your journey, and we will jump into that. Here at the Making a Statement podcast, we start things off with just a mental health check-in. Where you at out of 10? And we're just looking at the week that was and where you at. So, yeah, out of 10, where would you say you are right now?
8.
8? That's
Nice.
good. That's
Yeah.
nice and high.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a bit why?
I actually did a public speaking to some strangers at a platform called Pūririhua in Palmy on Saturday night at the library, and it is a safe space where people go to tell their life stories. Just it can be generic, but I went and showed up for my inner child, advocated for her, and being here tonight is sort of along the lines of the same kaupapa. So an 8, feeling good, but also on the other side of that, you can feel quite naked because you're exposing yourself, but feeling more stronger for it. So yeah, that's why I'm an 8.
That's awesome.
And that takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage, 100%. What's the kind of audience in a room like that? Who's tuning to that event?
Just randoms. I can't actually say what kind of audience. I love meeting new people. Just people who are interested in doing something different on a Saturday night, I suppose, than going out and getting lit, and just willing to hold space for people and their stories. Yeah.
That's cool. And I didn't even click to the fact that you said it was on a Saturday night. So
Yeah.
like, this is what people are doing on their weekend rather than. So that's
Yeah.
quite neat. I like that.
Yep.
Cool. Cuzzy DJ TJ, where are you at out of 10 at the moment?
Sorry, I'm eating one of my marshmallow thingies.
Snacking.
I'm doing pretty good. I would say I am a 9, I reckon.
That's good.
Yeah, the show's coming along well. I'll start with that. We got 3 more weeks until show day, aka 8 more rehearsals, and then I'm on stage in front of around 200 people performing.
That's awesome.
Work's going good, and I got some news, and I will be moving into my first ever house either by the 1st of Feb or even sooner.
Well
Man.
done. Well, puggy.
Nice.
No, that's cool.
That's
well
big
done,
news.
cuz. That's big boy moves. You're about to have to pay bills. Welcome.
And fill a house full of stuff as well. That's
Yeah,
expensive.
and I'll be coming over and eating your food.
Yeah.
And guess
yeah.
what? You know what you just did in Brother E's toilet? He'll be doing that in your toilet.
No, I won't.
Hey,
I
don't
do that
don't
in
you
other people's
expose me out
toilets.
here.
So, I got to ask though, Cuzzy DJ TJ. Are you thirsty?
You know I am.
Thirsty? Okay. Our guest has never tried Loaded T-Bar.
Nope.
Cool. So they are our drink sponsor on this podcast. And what it is basically is it's like an alternative to an energy drink if you choose to use the energy source, or it's just a healthy means of having a nice drink. I don't know if healthy's the right word, but it's sugar-free. I don't know the logistics, but, sugar-free. Brother E, is there anything you want to add to Loaded Tea?
It's delicious. I'm excited. I haven't tried this before. I made it for my mum the other day, this flavour. And so passion fruit mango.
Oh, you're mixing.
Yeah.
Why haven't I been doing that?
My mum made me, or not made me, she asked me to make her one the other day. And she was like, this is the best one I've had so far. So I was like, I'm saving it for this night so I can try it.
I'm
So
mixing.
super excited.
I'm mixing mine going forward. Our guest Samantha, we'll let you start it. You give us a sip and an honest, true review. So out of 10, what do you rate it?
Did I do toe energy for that one? I think I did. Is it sour?
What's the flavour of that one?
Watermelon?
I think
Sour?
it's the watermelon and the toe energy as well. I think the toe energy makes a massive difference to the flavour. I don't particularly.
It's alright.
It's I. What do you rate it out of 10? True reviews.
5.
There we go.
If I can be honest as well, like I've said this multiple times, the sour ones aren't my favourite.
Yeah.
And I personally don't like it with the toe energy. You like it only with the toe.
Yeah,
Not
I don't
only,
like
but
it
you
without
prefer
it.
So
Yeah.
it's all it depends on what people like, I think.
Yeah, but like when you buy one of their kits, you get like a bunch of flavors, and you get all the additional points, like the energy boosts and stuff like that. So it all becomes optional how you mix it, and like this fella's putting flavors together and shit.
I just thought sour would have more flavour.
Oh, I tried not to do too much flavour in it because I didn't want to overpower it. Because Dilz always complains.
How many
if I
did you
too-
put? 3?
Three.
Yeah, I put 3.
Well, mine's a bit watery.
Maybe you should have put more. And
It's hard to judge because someone will be like, I want it real sweet, and someone will be like, it's too sweet. So I was like nervous, so I just do 3.
I was nervous making the tea.
I was.
Cuzzy DJ TJ, do you want to come try yours?
Can I try mine?
Of course.
We'll let him pop into the scene real quick. What do you got?
Sour grape.
Ah, okay. What do I got?
You got sour grape again. Is it good?
Yeah.
You like it?
I'm not going to cheese the camera.
Do you... What are you...
Get out of the camera.
trying to plug it.
Our fella
Did
babe.
you... Yeah, so you got the same one.
Yeah, I got the same one.
know why?
You try your one first.
Do you know
Because
why?
I forgot.
Because
which-
you told me the guest wanted sour grape, so I made sour grape and you a sour watermelon.
But I
The
just
guest
got
is
it around
more
the right
important
way.
than you, so I gave her that one. You have to have the same one.
That's fine. I liked it. Go. Give us a go. Is it good?
Yeah, shit. That's a 10, bro. Straight up, hit that. Hit
Oh, Trev, what did you rate yours?
that. Wow,
I
that's
reckon
good.
I reckon it's better than the sour watermelon because I've had that before. I'd say around a 7.
That kind of tastes like a Lipton iced tea.
That's good, eh?
Yeah, I'd say it's
Can
like
I have a
Has that got
try?
peach?
I don't really want to give everyone COVID.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What's
I'll save you some. Pardon me?
has that got peach in it?
Passion fruit mango.
Oh, tastes like peach.
Anyways,
And mine's the same as last week.
shout
Yep.
out Loaded T-Bar.
Cool. And the way we kick.
Base. We haven't done our
that's
touch
right.
base.
That's right. You, brother E.
Me next.
Where are you at? You still got a baby and your wife and my sister.
Yes. So, it literally could be tonight. There's been a lot of signs that it could be tonight. So I'm kind of expecting my mum to come out and knock on the door at any minute, as we had a personal procedure to help things along today, and since then she's been having a lot of cramping and other things, and yeah, I'm hopeful that it's tonight because
You
she's
nervous?
4 days overdue now. So
You're nervous to make the tea, so are you
And
nervous?
11. That's
yeah,
pretty
that'd be cool,
Oh.
eh? I didn't think about that. That's a good pickup. Yeah, so
Oh, that's like an angel number, or like
Yeah.
make a wish on the time, eh?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
that's Chris Brown's album.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, so definitely nervous, but I'm like excited now and hopeful because she's in a bit of pain in that. So just hoping that she gets through and feels a lot better afterwards.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. You're a mother yourself. You know obviously exactly where she's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough times, eh? So yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. I'd say I'm a 9. But definitely, yeah, nervous for I want to make sure she's all good and that sort of stuff. So sitting out here for a couple of hours, I'm used to checking on her every 5 minutes. Are you all good? Is anything happening? Like, so
What number PP is this?
my second, but our third.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Excited. Yeah. First boy.
And boy, yeah.
Boy, yeah.
And so
I
it's
got
my first nephew.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
quite exciting for me too.
Yeah, I'm real excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9. I'm 9 out of 10.
Cool.
Scorpios.
Yeah, I got 2 Scorpios already.
Oh, cool.
So
I'm
this will be my
Scorpio.
third. Oh, cool.
Do you know much about the star signs and
Yeah.
stuff? See, I don't know anything. I'm Aquarius. What can you tell me about myself?
That they are an air sign. They are quite stubborn.
Air
Ooh.
sign.
That is me.
Yeah.
Is that why you fart heaps?
Oh.
No, that was the remember how Trev was saying he's got IBS, and then you said I'm.
Oh, don't bring that. He said don't bring that up. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, like once your mind's made up on something, you're like, that's it. There's no changing. Like
That is
That is
so
me.
real.
That is me.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah. Once you cross an Aquarius, that's kind of it. Yeah, I've got a lot of Aquarians in my family, so and they're very hard to because I'm a Scorpio, so I lead from my emotions. They're very, so it's hard to.
That is so real because he is very much like that.
Yeah.
And
Except on the weekend.
yeah, except that. Yeah, you done stuffed up there. Anyways, yes. How are you?
How am I?
How are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna say a 7. I'm gonna say a 7. I'm always positive. I'm always like, in a good space, and I'm always happy because I've got a good life and I've got a lot to be grateful and thankful for. So I can't complain. So even when I'm, even if I'm down, I'm still up. That's a good way to try to be. Obviously, some bullshit hit the fan over the weekend and fell right on my doorstep. Basically, this shit's in our backyard, and it kind of, for me, it triggered me, and so I acted in some ways in which I shouldn't have. But we're human and we react, and I've got emotions. And you said, most of the time we're like this, 100%. Most of the time I am like that, but shit escalates, and I trigger. So outside of that though, Mahi's going good. What else do we got going on? We got the mini fest, obviously that's still coming up. November 30th, so we're about 3 weeks away. But if we do the maths of when this episode dropped,
I'm not going to do those maths tonight.
no, you can't.
No, it's too far away.
It's about November 30th. So we got the mini fest. That's free food. We got the karate club here in Foxton cooking up the sausage sizzles, donated by New World here in Foxton. So thank you, team. We got the Foxton Barber and Beauty doing free haircuts alongside our hairdresser for the day, Krista Skipper. Oh, sorry, she's married now. She'll have to come into the comments and fact check my surname there. We've got live entertainment. We've got music. We've got DJ, Kazi DJ TJ coming through on the 1s and 2s. Myself and Brother E will be bringing the podcast live and direct to the community and touching base. Touching base. You're just nervous about everything.
Nerves are good. It means you're passionate about something. And I always tell my kids, it's your body's way of preparing you for the unknown because it's just something new.
Yeah. I won't dive too much into it, but I read something in your brief email about you being a challenge addict.
Yeah,
so we'll go into that.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've become that now because I want to push myself all the time. I'm like, I've got to do this. I just bought a new skateboard so that I could get back into skateboarding. I haven't skateboarded in 15 years.
Yeah.
And because I've broken my ankle too many times and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it because you know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
That rhymed.
Oh.
That rhymed. I'm not a rapper.
A rapper.
I'm not a rapper. That rhymed. But you know what I mean? And same as this stuff, same as the talking, it's like I'm challenging myself to be better. So yeah. So we'll touch more on the challenge addict thing, but that's something I picked up. And then,
I like that concept, the challenge addict.
That's cool.
Yeah. What we do before we go into things, we'll definitely get into your journey in a moment. We've got the hot topic. So as you know, we've just written a word down on a piece of paper. It's a sentence or a word or a topic or whatever it might be. And it could even be a question. And our guests prior have put that into our hot topic box. So Kazi DJ TJ is going to pull one of these out. He's going to read it out to us. And whatever it is, we're going to try and have a conversation about it. What's the hot topic tonight, Kazi DJ? Oh, hell. What is it? What is it?
Is it guest appropriate? If it's not guest appropriate, maybe you should put it back and grab another.
Can I just say it though?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab another one.
No. If you say it, we're talking about it. Just run it. That's what it's for. Whatever the guest put in there, that's what we talk about. That's part of breaking the stigma. Whatever it is,
She can't answer this one though.
That's okay. We'll talk on
Are
it.
you sure?
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh,
How
she
do
wants
you
to
hear?
hear. She's intrigued. Okay,
Let's
do
go.
it.
Shave your balls? Question mark.
Okay, can you answer?
What? Who put that in there?
Shave your balls? Question mark.
Does that
Is
mean
it like, do you shave your balls?
Yeah.
why would someone who did you put that in there?
I don't even think that was me. Shave your balls? Question mark. I don't think I would have put a
Who
question
would have
mark.
put that?
I would have probably.
Do you
that
reckon
would've-
Trevor put that in there to set us up?
Bro, it probably was John Taylor.
Probably.
Yeah, we had a porn addict on the show,
Oh, okay.
but I think he would have put something a bit messier than that.
I don't know. Anyways, yes.
Yeah. I've got Manscaped.
That's it.
I got Manscaped for like a Christmas
Hey, you're not
present.
sponsored by them. Don't even drop their name.
Manscaped, sponsor this episode. We just plugged you in our hot topic.
Okay.
But yeah,
I don't want to go into that too much.
I do. That was a
Why?
random one. You can't speak on that. Is
well,
it-
I don't waste my time talking shit.
Yes.
So no, sorry.
No, bypass. Whoever put that in the hot topic box, banned.
Oh, we had that together.
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay. So Samantha, that brings us to you. How about yourself, and tell us a little bit about your journey and where you've come from and who you are.
Okay. So I actually hail from Foxton Beach myself. I was born in Levin Hospital when it was there way back in 1988.
I was born there too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Grew up in Barber Street in Foxton Beach.
I'm useless at all. I've lived here. I'm 29. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I don't know the street names.
I had to Google map how to get here.
Oh, cool.
so-
So that makes two of us.
Oh.
yeah.
And you lived out Foxton Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're good. We're even.
Yeah, so I grew up part-time here with my mum and my siblings, and then my dad would take me back to a small town called Waipawa
Mhm.
in the Central Hawke's Bay. Back in those times, I honestly was just a very curious young girl who was exposed to a lot of domestic violence in the home. My dad was absent. When I say that, meaning like he would take me back to my mum's. So he was going to the shop and then not come back for 3 years. And then he would just come back when he pleased and pick me up, and mum would allow me to go back because I was pretty much a daddy's girl.
Did you ever kind of know what that stretch of time was? Did you ever kind of find out where he went? And
Well, he was a bit of a hangy pants, so off making other siblings for me, which I'm blessed to be. I have a huge amount of siblings. I think I'm number 2 of 11
oh,
with
wow,
my dad,
wow,
Oh,
wow.
and I'm number 2 of 6 with my mum.
Man, he must have had to pay heaps of child support.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay.
So how many siblings is that in total?
So 11,
In total.
yeah, with my dad, and then my mum has 6, so 5 of the 6 of my mum are to my dad.
I see.
Oh, okay.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've really big family.
Yeah, and I love it. And then, so when I was with my dad, so they always say that marijuana is a gateway drug.
Mhm.
For me, that stemmed true. On my dad's side of the family, it was normal to go around to aunties and uncles' houses, and there'd be spots on the stove or whatever. That was
Yep.
their cup of tea. As long
That
as
was
they,
my childhood too.
I've been through stuff like that.
and we really enjoyed it because that's what kept them connected and kept them getting on. So it was a real close-knit upbringing with my family. Within that space, my dad would, the effects of addiction would set in with him, and I would get hidings here and there. But still, just being the daddy's girl I was, I would always hold on to the good, and forgive him. And then I'd go back to my mum, and to be honest, I felt out of place there because it was like I don't know. it was not jealousy, maybe envy or something of the connection me and my dad had. And I could feel I was kind of like the black sheep.
Mm.
And so growing up, you know, I had nicknames like fly shit face, things like that.
From who?
My mum.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's rubbish.
that's terrible.
And then, you know, I'd go with my dad and I was just getting treated like shit. And I was the piggy in the middle, and all I wanted was to find my safe place and my safe person. And then I think, one night I got the hiding of my life from my dad, and I ended up in foster care. And that was the first year, third form, yeah. So I ended up going into foster care and ended up going to college, Central Hawke's Bay, for like a quarter of the year. Ran away from there, then got sent back down here to my mum from SIFS.
Do you mind if I just... How did you end up in the foster care? Is that like, did you contact someone or did someone from the outside?
I actually don't know because I was young.
Oh, right.
Well, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So I actually don't know, but I do know that there was a social worker who was quite involved with myself and my older brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I think someone must have mentioned something.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you to whoever that was.
So they were alerted potentially,
Yeah.
like school or something
Yeah.
like that.
And yeah, I became a bit of a rebel and ran away from there, got sent back down here to my mum from SIFS. She was actually pregnant with my younger sister to my dad. You know, he would come down, have a one night stand, and
then 3 years.
there's another sibling, you know.
Yeah.
And I agreed with my mum that if I got to name her, I would sign my Manawatu college enrolment form because I didn't want her to have the same upbringing as I did.
Shout out Manawatu College. Yeah, that's where I went through as well.
And so I got to name her and I went to Manawatu, for the first half of my third form. And then we moved to Palmy in that same year. So the weed didn't kick in until I got to Palmy, but I had my first spot when I was 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell does that do to a 9-year-old?
Well,
It just opens the door, really.
Yeah.
But how's a 9-year-old going to handle, the
yeah.
the actual being high? How's
think
that?
I think it almost brings like normality to it. Like you give it to a kid and the kid thinks it's normal to do it. So then you just think that drug is a normal thing to do.
Well, so I learnt that weed made you happy. Without it, you're not happy. Because my dad, without it, he would just beat me up. So, and then on it, we would go and get munchies and.
So that was what you said was his addiction, weed, or was there other stuff?
Yeah,
in
there
the
was
picture?
other stuff. I just obviously growing up wasn't aware until a couple of years ago. Other things, just going to his friend's house and being left in the car for hours because he's in there doing things, But yeah, so when I was 9, my dad gave me my first spot and I stood there and I said, I've got pins and needles, and I fainted and he caught me and they all went, whoa, you had your first buzz.
And it's just
That
normal.
was it, yeah. And so I thought it was a cool thing. Yeah.
Do you remember
Fucked up.
Do you remember being stoned?
I remember coming to from it and stuff that happened after it, which I don't want to speak about. Just being like delirious, just out of it. But believing and feeling you're in a safe place with one of the safest people, and you're all good.
Well, because they all gave you the praise that that made you think again that it's normal and a good thing to do.
Well, and what I've come to learn through healing my inner child is that she did a lot of things to keep herself safe, to remain accepted, because that's all she was trying to do was find her people, find her safe place. Yeah.
Do you think also it might have come from like being afraid to not do those things so that you didn't get a hiding or
Yeah, exactly. To keep
to
myself
please
safe.
everybody else?
Yeah. And I think, that now that we're talking more about it, that would be another reason why I delved into it in high school and things as well, like to fit in.
Well, it's a massive thing.
Yeah.
It's just trying to fit in, especially if you already inside the friend group or outside the friend group at home, anywhere. If you feel like you don't fit, it just naturally happens everywhere. You just want to do everything to please everyone.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we ended up back in Palming, which I think was just the best move. Shot mum, and my mum kind of went into a real dark place now that I'm an adult and I'm a mama, and I can see it for what it was. And I ended up just becoming like a provider for my siblings. So when I say that, I mean, there was an event down at the hall down at the park, I'm going to break in there later and I'm going to go and steal the food.
Oh.
I'm going to go to the dairy and, break into there and get bread or whatever. But I'm also going to get the ciggies because that makes money.
Were you getting caught?
No.
How were you doing it?
Had a good group of mates.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
How old were you there? Sorry?
so 14.
14. Yeah.
14, yeah. And so we'd call them missions, and so my mission for the day, as long as I came home with a tinny, and my mate had money for her bottle of Mississippi moonshine, and we had kai for my siblings, then we were good to go.
So you were younger, 9 when you first had a spot. You're 14 at that age, and now it's the mentality of you need a tinny every single day, and you're going to go steal for it. Was there a continuation of the weed between 9 and 14?
No. So it was just that one, because in between that time, it's all a blur for me. I'm still on my healing journey to kind of tap into, because our inner child's quite resilient, and they still keep me safe as an adult, and I can't say whether she's blocked out a few years of something that's happened.
Trauma responses to block things out, so.
And to hold on to the good. So, yeah. But so the next part, is around about 10 to 12 for me. But there's no drugs in there. Yeah. So palming, got into that scene, but then that also brought in, the old binge drinking.
At 14?
Yeah. So we'd hang in the square, and there was a hill called Highbury Hill. I don't know why it was called that. And we'd just make sure we had the $11 to go and ask an adult to buy us a bottle of Kentucky Gold.
It's crazy that they would, though, eh? Like, I think times are a lot more different now, and it makes me feel like an old cat, like just sitting there going, back in my day. But like, I recall so much of what you're saying too. We both grew up in Foxton, I think, but at the end of the day, like, things are so much different now. But does that still happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I remember I didn't get randoms to buy alcohol, but I definitely did when I started smoking cigarettes at a young age, and I used to wait outside the cigarettes for lesson up a hut for like a fella to walk past and be like, bro, can you buy us some ciggies, please? Like, always respectful about it, but like that was our hustle. That was our mission.
It was normal in that age for a kid to go, a kid's drinking or whatever, you know. Like,
you look at the vapes now.
Yeah.
How are they all getting vapes? True. They're probably doing the same thing.
If you were asked by some kids outside somewhere, what would you say?
Hell no.
No. I used to be a bouncer,
Go and buy a bag of lollies.
If you're not 18, bro, you're not coming in, So that's, as in the world of bouncing, you got a $10,000 fine on your ass if you're responsible, and so there's a 10 grand fine. So I've got that in my head.
There's no way I'm allowing that. I'm actively telling people to give up. And my mum, Trev, anybody that I know that vapes, I'm actively saying, stop
shout
vaping.
out to Dad, bro. Shout out to Dad.
He's
Dad
doing
just
really
went
well.
clean 4 months ago. Just goes, I'm not vaping anymore.
He did
I think he had a
same-
bit of a hard time breathing or something.
He
one
got
time.
sick, and he just gave up.
Put it down and it's carried on. Well done, Dad. Shout out, Dad.
Yeah. So there's no way I'd inhibit someone's, I'd call it an addiction.
Yeah.
There's no way. I see so much damage from all of these things. So I'm like, no, man, I'm actively telling people not to. I actually stopped drinking like over 6 months ago, and now I'm always saying, hey, maybe you should just tone it down a little bit. Like, it's actually not that good for you. Because I started noticing the effects of it.
Yeah. But then it gets a bit preachy, eh?
It does, it does. But I'm only trying to I'm not trying to force someone to do it. I'm just trying to give them advice. Like, it's not, I would never say, you better do that. It's just,
Yeah.
you should just think about it and just be aware to the situation. Like,
Are you listening out there? If you are listening,
I'm
make
not
sure that you're
preaching.
taking Brother E's advice.
because I went through a spiral where I noticed like mental health effects, physical health effects, my memory, heaps of things started going downhill because I would go out. I wouldn't. You could call it binge drinking, but it was only like one day. But it was a lot of like drinking. You know, it'd be like a box and maybe a bottle, or a box and half a bottle, or shots, or all this stuff, and it'd be a lot of alcohol. So the next day, you feel nearly half gone.
Mm.
And I started realizing, and now I got kids, I was like, man, I can't be like this the next day. I got to look after my kids and take them to the park and
it costs a lot
go
of money.
for picnics. And
Costs a lot of money.
I never really thought about the money side of it, but I guess, it does.
Yeah.
But it was just more the effects of trying to be a father and work as well, like going to work on the Monday and being able to barely function. So it was I'm so glad I made that decision, especially now.
Fuck, I don't drink either. I'm sitting here listening to you, but like I stopped drinking in Rarotonga.
Well, you didn't really drink much before that either, did you? You kind of went through like a massive break.
I stopped drinking after I went on like tour and stuff like that. I just kind of, you know, when I went out and come back in and hibernated and like focused on family life, I also kind of moved away from the alcohol life because it just draws bad, you know, surroundings. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Anyways,
you're 11 years old and they bought you a
14.
drink. Oh, sorry, 14.
Yeah, so that was the gist of it, really. And then eventually I moved out of home. Well, I left amicably because it then became me and my mum physically abusing one another.
Oh.
Yeah, which I did not want. So I ended up leaving at 15. And not long after that, my siblings were taken into SIF's care.
So they lost you and you were providing for them. And at that time, your mum was going through this depression.
Yeah.
So then you move away, the kids
Yeah.
get taken away. Okay.
And here I am, 16 years old, stoned out of my brain, but running to the SIF's building in Palmy to make sure I get to the family group conference. You know, because I want to show up for my siblings. I want to know what's going on, and I want visiting rights and things like that. So in the end, I did get that, and I would go and see my younger sister, who I got to name, on Thursdays, and I would go and spend my independent youth benefit on her every Thursday.
Did you want to say her name since you've named her? What was this name that you came up with?
Alia.
Alia,
After the singer.
After the singer.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
cool.
she died the same year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, I think my brothers ended up back home with mum, which I think was, better for them. They were older, so they kept running away, and I think SIFs eventually just gave up. So, fast forward a little bit, I then met my baby daddy, and fell pregnant with our first baby at 17, had him at 18. Had our next baby 2 years later, and then our third baby another 2 years later. Within this relationship, it was just dysfunctional. A lot of drinking. I don't know how we could afford, 3 boxes of Cody's a week and things like that. And like you were just talking about, still being a parent, functioning parent while you're hungover. That was a solo thing for me. It was not a good time, but at the same time, like, your kids give you a purpose. And so throughout that, I was still smoking weed as well. And the drinking got out of hand. A few instances there with drink driving. The car got confiscated. I'm doing PD 8 months pregnant, cooking the pies.
Wow.
You know,
They don't give you maternity leave on PD. Come on, council.
No.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So catching the bus to PD. And then, I do want to mention when I was at Awatapu, and I was going through my thieving stage, and that if it wasn't for my youth aid officers and a lot of the social support within there coming in and like dropping their gems, even though I didn't listen at the time, they really did have an influence on who I aspire to become and what I do.
Massive.
So yeah, I just wanted to quickly drop that in there. Yeah, so dysfunction, and then I ended up getting a job, my very first job, and worked my way up there. And I started noticing that my baby daddy was like becoming a hermit, isolating away from me, up at like 3 a.m, and I'm like, I didn't even know what meth was. And because I would work out of it hours, because I was just starting from the bottom, so like 3 a.m. until 10 a.m, and he would still be up in the shed. And then eventually I figured it out, you're not out selling tinnies at fucking 10 o'clock. I just swore.
That's
all right. We cover it. We cover it. He just tells you just talk.
Yeah.
You can swear as much as you want.
And yeah, I figured out that he was actually dealing meth without me knowing.
So he also had a lot of money without you knowing?
No.
No. He's smoking his supply.
Yeah. And then one weekend when the kids were at their grandparents', I just decided, I really want to connect with this man. Again, this is my inner child leading.
Yeah.
I've learnt. And I tried it, and man, what an experience. My heart rate just went through the roof. I did not like it at all. It's just like my senses enhanced and everything, and I just went paranoid straight away, and it was just like you're having an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the beginning, and no shite, and within 4 months I was hooked. Like it was just a weekend, started as a weekend buzz, and then I'd need it before I go to work.
That's crazy. So you're functioning at work high.
Yeah.
What was the line of work?
So I was at administration in the produce department at Bidfood.
Okay. They never suspected anything?
No, but they did start seeing, my boss at the time start seeing, difference in behaviour, like me withdrawing and things like that, not being my normal self. And I was opening up to him about domestic violence and things that was happening in the home.
Do you think you didn't like it, but then you did it again because you wanted to please him, just like you did when you were a kid?
Because I wanted to connect with him.
Yeah. So I think that is again stemming from the start, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's what I'm learning, is that my inner child has kind of led my journey up until I started my recovery journey. Yeah. So in the end, I actually called my bosses to my house to see my huge mountain of washing on my couch so I could resign. And I said, I wish there was like whānau leave where I could just leave for like 6 months and then come back, because I need to sort my stuff out, as you can see. And they were really awesome. And they really valued me, and they said I could go back when I was ready.
It's a really open way to do that. Like you brought them to your house and like, hey, look, I need help.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool,
I still didn't
genuine.
say, hey, I'm addicted to meth, but I was still saying something.
Yeah, but
like,
you were
this is
actually
what
at
it
that
is.
point wanting help, like the meth, and you're trying to get clean from it at that point?
No, it was, I can't even say it, to be honest. I don't even know what it was, but it was just, like I just need help to sort out my family. I think I was in denial about the meth thing, to be honest. I think it was more, I need to get this man to see that what he's doing is wrong. It was never me, it was always, it's all about him. I know it sounds really effed up. And then I had a hui with my children, who, by the way, at the time was 7, 5, and 4 or 3. And I said, look, Dad's, in a bad space. I've left work. And I think we're gonna have to give up the house so that we can save Dad. I'm having a hui with my kids who are like, at that age, just so they knew what was going on, because growing up, that was one thing I absolutely hated, was not knowing if everything was going to be okay. Things were always done to us, not for us or with us. And I definitely wanted to change that as a parent myself. And then, I stopped paying the rent, we got kicked out. And I thought he would see that we're on the bones of our butts and it's time to chuck it in, but nah, he carried on.
So you're at this point waiting for the man of the household to help in the situation where all of a sudden there's no money to cover the bills and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Things are obviously getting out of hand, and there wasn't. He didn't step up to the plate, so things went worse. And
He didn't see anything wrong with what he was doing. You know, I would say to him, pretty much cry and plead to him that, you know, you're choosing this drug and these people and this money over your family. And he's like, oh, would you fucking go and preach to someone else? You know, and I think about it now and I think, geez, girl, why did you not just leave, you know?
at that point, though, weren't you doing the same?
Yes, but that's
But you
what
could
I'm saying.
see, but you could see the things that were wrong in the situation.
Yeah.
And what
And
Like
he's
I wanted
bringing
to
it in.
collectively
Yeah,
just
you need
like stop.
it's a team effort.
Yeah, because to me they were a package, and you know I still wanted the 2-parent household. And so he needed to step up and stop doing what he was doing. That was the answer in my head, anyway. So yeah, at the age of 30, I ended up back in my mum's house, which I swore when I was 15 that I would never go back.
How cool was it that your mum's always going to take you back? Though
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been back to my mum's house. I think I moved to Sydney, moved back, and I must have been like 24. Moved back into mum's. It's something you're like admitting defeat, but at the same time, it's a reset. Eh?
Yeah, it's needed. But I still carried on then. Like I was a functioning addict there, and I could tell that she knew something was amiss. Yeah, because so I still smoked weed as well. Like I didn't like how the meth sort of put me on a high, so I would have some weed straight after to sort of bring me back down so I could stay kind of balanced. But I'd end up zombied out. And
Crazy
I'd
that,
just,
yeah, I was going to say crazy that you're functioning, you know,
Yeah.
you said functioning addict. How are you paying and supplying
So
at this
he's
point?
dealing.
Okay, so it's still just
He's
the
always my
that's
supply.
that's the supply.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just my mum ended up kicking us out because she could just
he
see.
was there as well.
No, so he just lived out of his car or wherever and made it work. We stayed at motels sometimes, which my kids seen a lot of domestic violence in those spaces.
It's crazy because you'd think like being a pea dealer that you'd have some money in your back pocket.
No, because you just blow it back.
Yeah, I
on
know,
having-
but obviously just shows the
And he has
extremities.
to supply his missus, right? So you're never going to get ahead. Yeah, so my mum kicked me and my kids out, which thank you, Mum. You know, tough
Wake up
love.
call again.
Yep.
Yep.
Went into emergency housing for about 6 months. That was not long after that, but I just want to touch on before we went into emergency housing, we were living with my mother-in-law, and my brother, he passed away, which was one of the hardest times during my active addiction journey because, just my brothers were like the three musketeers, to be honest, and they could see that something was amiss, but they'd never hit me up, you know, because I'm their older sister and they still love and respect me unconditionally. But, you know, I could have opened up to them. And I remember saying to my brother who passed away, you know, I'm not well. I need to go away. And he would just sit there and listen. He would never judge or anything. And then in 2017, a week before Christmas, baby daddy got arrested for dealing. And so I was on a downer. So I hadn't had any for 3 days. And then my brother was messaging me, because I'm on a downer, I don't want him to see me like that. I didn't reply. And then 2 days after Christmas, I got a phone call that my brother was at the river and he's unconscious and they're trying to resuscitate him. And I was kind of, you know, in and out of his sleep, but I'm like, oh no, he'll be all good. And then I get a phone call maybe 20 minutes later that he had passed away. And that was one of the hardest smack in the face reality hits for me. driving down to the river, and I'm thinking, no, spiritually, I'd know if he wasn't here, he would come and, he would tell me, and, all of these bloody things. Get down there, and the policeman drives me down and go to the back of the hearse, and my brother's still warm. He smells like the river. I say goodbye in my own way. And then the next time I see him is at the morgue, and he's dead cold. And this is the first time I'm also seeing my mum since she kicked us out like 6 months ago. Straight away I thought, shit, I don't want to deal with all these feelings, and I'm not going to be any help to anyone if, I'm going to be all emotional and stuff like that. So I went and got me and my friend got some money together, and we got a hole. And that's when, so a gram. Of, yeah.
Oh.
And that's when I realised, shit, I'm an addict. Because I was able to get my hands on a supplier, and he's in jail, so I can't blame him anymore. And so because of that time of year, we got to keep my brother for 6 days, which culturally that's longer than, and through those 6 days I couldn't even sit with him longer than 10 minutes because I was so emotionally detached. And I've had a bit of a journey the last few years forgiving myself for not saying goodbye or being with him. And, it says something when I can sit here and speak about him without crying. It says something about my healing journey. So
Grief is a journey.
Oh, it is. Yeah. But just forgiving myself for not knowing any better at the time. Yeah.
So how have you been recovering? Like, what is that journey? What have you done in yourself and for yourself at that point?
So I went and admitted to a lady at Women's Refuge that I was addicted, and also wanted to get a protection order on the kid's dad because things were going. Yeah. So fast forward into that part, we went into emergency housing. We were still smoking crack in there.
How long after your brother passing away was this?
It's like for another year and a half. We were still functioning, and that's why I was like, man, you can't even blame it on your brother passing away now. That's already happened how long ago, so I hid, isolated, because I'm the type of person, if something's happened to me, I'll wear it on my face. I can't go out in public. People know that something's wrong with me, especially like my family. And I was really ashamed. But we went into emergency housing for 6 months. Then I was offered a house. I swore we wouldn't smoke it there, but we did. And that house became my hell. I got really into a psychosis. And just like how I was earlier mentioning that I was asking for help, I would ring the police sometimes, and I would, call the police on baby daddy, but he wasn't there. And they'd come in, and there's an extension cord around my door handles in my hallway, and I draw up against it, and they're like, what's happening there? And I said, oh, people are coming into my house. And they kind of look at me like, we've checked your house, there's no one there. I've even got hair ties on the, what do you call it?
Windows?
The window.
Oh,
the window arms?
Latches.
Yeah.
And tied around it because I think people are coming in, taking photos of it because I think I can see a slight movement in the hair tie that someone has come into my house. Like, I was just so paranoid. I lost my frickin' mind. Created narratives that if you constantly tell yourself over and over every day and you haven't had any sleep, you actually believe it. It's true. So yeah, in the end, I went to Women's Refuge because I just had enough of my own shit. Admitted that I had an addiction. Right next door was M.A.S.H. It's a rehabilitation.
Oh, yeah.
So signed up to there and, went to a lawyer, got the protection order and the parenting order. Now, to get that, though, you have to give, your whole history with this person, which was very long.
You got to be very open and transparent, eh?
And I actually said to them, I don't want to sign it right then and there. Can I come back in 2 weeks? Because I was giving up on my dream of a 2-parent household. And I had to have a wānanga with myself. Am I for real? Do I really want to give up the drugs? You know. And so I went back in 2 weeks and I signed it.
So that whole 2 weeks you're clean and you're like,
Yeah.
I've made this decision, I'm firm, I'm going to be on this journey, I'm going to go drop my whole life story to them and go on this healing journey.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, as hard as it was, because I'm giving up on my hopes and dreams with this man as well. Yeah.
So I know you've had this childhood where you've got a trauma bond essentially in the environment you've grown up in, and you know you have a different sense of normality. But so many years, I know you're holding on to that hope of that 2-parent household, and I know you said I didn't like it as a kid when we didn't know what was happening, so that was a cycle I tried to change for my kids. How come, like, is it that you were stuck in that same mentality? You didn't want to have that because you were co-parented, or you know 2 different spaces. Were you just trying to protect your kids from that cycle?
I don't know. It was just the
Because I just find it interesting because you mentioned I wanted to protect my kids from that cycle, but all the other cycles kind of is what happened. And it's just
and the intention is there, right? But it just naturally happened in the way that it did anyway.
I grew up without my father around, and I feel very much the same. I'm glad I don't have the domestic violence and stuff, obviously, but I'm very much the same. I grew up, I always wanted kids, and I always wanted to make sure that whoever I have kids with, I will make sure that I can do whatever I can to make that relationship work to an extent. Yeah. To an extent. So if we have arguments and you know, every relationship does, I'll do whatever I can to fix it. You know, in my past, I've lived a past life. I've been in many relationships, done lots of dumb shit as a young male. But since becoming a father, even meeting my wife who had a daughter, I knew that once I was in there, I couldn't walk out of there without a really, really good reason. So I kind of understand your reasoning around wanting to have a whole family, both parents around and that sort of thing. So yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying when you're explaining that.
I think it's more the inner child and what she wanted. Because where I sit today, that's not important to me, you know. But throughout the journey, I've sort of kept the kids in on it, like, to an extent.
The healing journey, do you mean?
Yeah.
You've kept your kids...
Yeah, because they had to go into healing as well. Like, they had to do a Dragonfly program through the Women's Refuge, which helps them process the stuff they've been exposed to, which I think is really cool. They came through my recovery journey at M.A.S.H. So it's just an 8-week, it's called the Monarch program. And to be honest, I can't say it was effective. The thing that got me or kickstarted my recovery was the timing. You know, like, I believe, or especially for me, the timing was right. So if I had gone into M.A.S.H. in a space a year earlier, there's no way that I would have applied myself.
You have to be open to making a change. I think that's the easiest way to recover from any addiction is wanting to recover.
Yeah.
So.
And so within that space, it was one of the members had said to the facilitator, you know, you don't know shit, you've just learnt from a book. And that was the light bulb moment for me, that I could really turn what's happened to me into something positive and be impactful in the community. And all it's going to take is for me to go learn from a book first, because that's the way that it works. But I've got the life experiences. So at the end of that year, 2019, I think the degree had just been advertised at UCOL to study Bachelor of Social Services. And I left school at 15. So I didn't even know what an essay was. Never did exams. So yeah, I went back to study.
So you had to learn that all from scratch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And it was funny when we introduced ourselves and things, and then we all said why we were there. And I said, I'm a recovering addict. And they all sort of looked shocked, like, you know, you've got all your teeth. And
Yeah.
yeah.
There's one of the
Is
things
there
I
a
was,
look?
no, I was gonna actually say that because you
Yeah.
said your family, your siblings didn't know. You moved to your mum's house. You're already addict at that point. She wasn't aware you were living with her. And I was thinking, isn't there like physical characteristics that people usually
yeah.
identify?
Yeah, like I was skin and bone and I just looked friggin'
I was going to say,
dreadful.
no, like
Scabs?
sunken face and stuff.
No. Where do the scabs
That's
come
why
from?
I hid.
Is that itching?
I don't
Picking.
know.
Picking.
You know, the smallest thing, you know, they'll just, yeah.
Ah.
I don't like to say that because, you know, I don't like to say it like that.
Yeah.
Like people say, oh, how long have you been clean? Well, addicts are they're never dirty.
Mm.
You know, they all have their why and it's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like to put addicts down or put them in a bad light at all.
Yeah. So how long have you been in recovery now?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, August the 10th.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I graduated my degree last year. I did an extra year because of COVID. I failed my first year.
That's a long stretch, hey? How many years is
It
that?
was 3 years.
3 year
What
What is it, at uni? Or
No,
UCOL?
UCOL.
UCOL, okay.
Yeah. But I did 4 years because I failed my first year.
It's cool that you
Understandable.
failed and went back.
Yeah, understandable
Oh,
as well
yeah.
with leaving school and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it would have been double hard for you to learn.
Yeah.
I think that's
having
an
to learn
even
other stuff as well. That's
I think
massive.
that's an even cooler story is I went there, I failed my first year, but I went back and then did it again.
I loved-
Determination.
Yeah, and it was just I love learning. Now, you know, I reckon at this age, well, you reach an age and stage where you're like ready to absorb the world and learn in a different light.
I'm the exact same.
Yeah.
And this goes back to that challenge addiction, I reckon.
Yeah. And so when I did go back, like, yeah, I felt like crap that I had failed, but it was about going on my own journey, my own walker, and I didn't have to keep up with everyone else anymore. I could just be my own. And it was cool because I was like a good example for others coming on the degree that, you know, if you fail, come back, it's all good, you know?
That's good.
Yeah. Normalizing failing. What do they say? First attempt in learning.
Yeah,
it's
first
acronym.
attempt in learning.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, yep. And if you, I'd rather fail than never try.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at
Yeah.
least you've given it a go. So well done. I think that's really neat part of the
massive.
story. I just stood out to me that, you know, out of all of this, and then you come out of the other side of it.
Yeah.
You didn't go, oh, I failed, I'm going to go back to drugs. I failed, I'm going to use that as my why. You know, you went back and just tried again. I like that.
Then I continued on counselling from M.A.S.H, which has just been huge, especially in the healing aspects of mine and my mum's relationship. So understanding a lot about why she did a lot of what she did and forgiving her, and then being able to go back to her with those conversations and holding that space with her.
How did that look? Was that another hui? Or was that just
yeah.
over the years, you know, just casual conversations?
So the last 2-3 years it's been, you know, laughing, crying. I think just becoming my mum's safe space is awesome. It's a privilege because, you know, our parents go through their own trauma and their own journeys, and they've never been allowed the space or somewhere safe to let it all out either.
What you just said, I look at it like that too. Like when I was 5 or 10 or probably even 15 or 18, when I'm looking at mum and dad, I'm not thinking so much about all their feelings and emotions and their life story, and I just see them as mum and dad, the you know, the adult figures. But now that I'm my age and I've got my son and he's growing up, and I look at him and he's that age, I'm like, oh, so when I was that age, that's what my dad was doing. He was going out to work all day, and you know, like I can connect the dots and be like, put myself in my dad's shoes now as myself being a dad.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And so I think, I like to believe I've begun the intergenerational healing
Beautiful
for our family through my own healing. Yeah,
That's great.
And then I got placement at an organisation called Manchester House Social Services in Fielding. And, you know, believe it or not, the thing that got me in the door there was my addiction. So there's a beautiful, I like to call her Nan, lady there called Robin Duncan. She's quite famous.
Shout out Robin.
Shout out Nan.
and she loves naughty people, as she would say. But she took me on for placement because of my meth addiction, because she believes that it's people who have been there, done that need to be in these spaces to help those in recovery. So, yeah, that was my chance, and I've stuck there since. So I facilitate every fortnight at the moment our addiction support group called Meth and Death, so MAD.
Oh,
If you look on YouTube, it's on there. What's his name? This is the effing news.
Paddy
Paddy
Gower.
Gower?
Paddy Gower,
Yeah.
yes, he went there and interviewed them. I think it was 5 years ago when it was first
cool.
established. Yeah.
Cool. So there's like a highlight of what the program is, and
yeah.
you're the facilitator of that
Well,
at
it's
the current
not
time.
actually a program. It's just a safe space for 2 hours. We come together, have a kai, and you just utilize that space for whatever you feel. Because your journey is yours. There's no judgment. We have like active community members come in, like the police, probation. They want to get more understanding around addiction. It's not just based around meth.
Yeah.
It's all addictions.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
You have family members that come in on their own and to get advice on their addict family member.
Yeah.
Then eventually they might come in. Like, it's a really beautiful space.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
How many people?
Oh, it can range. At the moment, we've probably got about 13 to 15.
Cool.
And they come from Wanganui, Foxton.
So you're sitting down as a collective, and there's about 15 of you. Put on a kai. What else are you doing? Are you like playing some board games or
No,
talking
you just
some
go around
stuff?
and hold space for each other and share how much of your journey you want to or how little. But it's more about, because we've all been in that space, providing tools and guidance, holding each other accountable.
So you'd have people from all parts of their recovery as well. You'd have active, you'd have recovered, and you'd have in recovery as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of helpful, because then when people are going through different stages, they're able to talk to people that have been in that stage, or advise people who are going to go through that stage of how to get through it. So that's awesome.
And because it is situated where it is, if a member comes in and they need kai, we've got a food bank there. If they need budgeting advice, we can also connect them with our budgeters. Same with the social workers and counselling there as well. So it's a really awesome space to be. That's kind of where I am at the moment. I'm currently looking forward to studying my master's at M.A.S.H. Because the degree I did, you're not actually registered social worker in New Zealand because it was only new. So now I've got to do another 2 years to become registered and open more doors, but that's okay.
You're trying to get back to that space. You said at the start, like there were these people that were I think the social workers in that environment when you were young.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
want to
looking
do a
at
full circle, man.
you want to go back and be that person for the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for just as many as I can, but specifically eventually rangatahi, like I really want to, rather than being the, what do they call it, ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, I want to be
The one that
preventative.
prevents them from going to.
Massive. So you have a young one as well?
4.
Is that your youngest
Who?
baby?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's it like going through your studies and stuff with, I would say, young children? Is that hard? Is it easy? Is it?
Oh. It's always challenging.
Yeah.
But I think there's just a resilience in there that you just make it work. Yeah.
But do you have to take any of your studies home, or is it all done in class? Or
It's all distance learning at the moment.
Oh,
so
cool.
online, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. You spoke of your inner child a lot.
Mm.
I think that was a key, almost highlight of everything you went back to. And you also talk about now being where you are, and like you can talk about your brother, you're not crying, it's because you're saying you're healing the inner child. What is that, if you're specifically focusing on that inner child concept, like what is that to you?
So the inner child is the most vulnerable part of me. She yeah, she wasn't cared for or guided in the way that she needed, which led to the life that I led. And so as an adult, it's my sole responsibility to care for her, advocate for her, and guide her in the way that she always needed. So I've become that person that she needed, rather than looking for it in the outside world, which I was my whole life. Yeah.
But also, you're 9 years old, getting given spots, and
Yeah.
you're getting taught that this is normal when you're this age, providing
Yeah.
for your household. That's normal. You've had to go and basically backtrack through your life, and like you said, there's parts of your life that are blocked because of the trauma
Yeah.
that you've experienced as a child. But you're trying to basically backtrack and unlock those traumas and recover from them. You're trying to identify and find a new normal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing in the child concept, right?
Yeah. And like I sit there now and I'm trying to establish, is my connection to a certain person actually me today, or is it my inner child? You know? Yeah, what keeps me here?
Because that inner child, you've also said, was always looking for a safe space. So
Yeah.
now you're creating your own safe space.
Yeah.
You've created a safe space in your home. You haven't brought drugs into your home. You're out there doing your study journeys and trying to create a life, which is, that safe space again. One of the questions I had is, obviously you've seen domestic violence and you've grown up with parents that were abusing each other and abusing you. And you've then gone into this relationship where the same pattern of cycle is continuing, and now you're getting abused in a relationship. Off the back end of the recovery journey, is that another journey in itself? How to trust a man, how to be in a relationship, like
Yeah, that it is really, and it's also on this healing journey, healing the inner child and becoming the person who she always needed. It's like, I don't need anyone else. Like it's also prevents me from connecting with anyone else because I have this wall up.
Yeah, naturally.
I'm safer with just me.
And I guess the only way you'd be able to connect is if all of those walls, that all your inner child and all the vulnerability, all that trauma you're still dealing with, you would have to allow this person to share that space with you, right?
Yeah. And it's so through my counselling, she has taught me EMDR. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's eye movement reprocessing, or eye movement desensitization reprocessing of trauma. And so she'll like sit in front of you and go like that. You got to follow with your eyes, and then you end up going like, it's not hypnotism, but semi, and you go into a space. And so my safe space with my inner child is I meet her at on the hill at 12 Barber Street, and she's sitting there picking flowers. She's always there. That's always her safe space. And so I'll go there and talk with her. And so I have been in a relationship since recovery and since not being with baby daddy. And it was great there, but it's having to go in and talk to her and say that we are safe, because I'm two people. I'm not just one.
Is that you and your inner child? You're talking about that in that sense? Okay.
So being able to tap into her and just letting her know that we're safe, everything's going to be okay, the same thing's not going to happen, and like just continuously doing that. But yeah, like I was saying before, I just feel like I've become the person who I always needed, and so it makes it really hard to actually be open to a relationship.
What was it called again? EMDR.
Yeah.
And do you do that only when you're at your counselling session, or do you do that in your own time?
Yeah, she teaches you to do it yourself.
So that's your tool that you're now utilising.
Yeah.
And are you regularly going to counselling?
Oh no, I've been tapped out for about a year.
Is it quite pricey?
No, so it's covered through ACC because of my sexual abuse.
Okay.
And I was diagnosed with CPTSD, so complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
That ACC sexual abuse scenario, what is that process for people out there that have been in that situation?
So she just connected me with a ACC psychologist, and you pretty much go through and tell your whole story. And then she does what she needs to do, and then she'll diagnose you, and then it gets forwarded to ACC. And then, my counsellor was an ACC counsellor, and so I don't have to pay for any of my
That's it.
counselling.
Cool that they cover that.
The lists are so long, though, at the moment. She's moving, so I've got to find a new one. And I think that's one thing that's very daunting, is you don't want to have to go and tell your whole story all over again to someone new.
Yeah.
You form a bond, a
Yeah.
safe space in the counselling, because you know that it can't go any further than that. So.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to revisit it over and over and over
Nah.
again and be judged, and you don't want to have that.
Yeah.
What is you said you're going back into this inner child, and you meet your inner child in a space, and obviously that's quite a powerful concept. What other conversations you're having in that space?
I can go for a period of time where I actually neglect her, and I don't actually realise it until familiar thoughts start arising, or anxiety and things in similar situations in the past, and I'll go, oh shit, she's getting louder, so I do need to go and sit with her, and I'll just sit there and what's going on, and you just have to constantly remind her that we're not in the same place, we're not in the same space. I am here to protect you. Like it's actually just repetitive, but it's because I don't stay there long enough or go there enough for her to feel completely safe with me yet. So it's still a long journey to go. Yeah.
Are you feeling like you haven't been to counselling for a year? Like, are you finding that's impacting you at all? Do you think you need to get back there?
Oh, definitely. And I have reached out, especially being a new mama again. I've lost my identity, so to speak, because so much has happened in the last year. And challenge addict. That's not getting exercised because I have to stay home. But I also love the fact that I can stay home with my baby. So I have reached out, but like I was saying, she's moving and I've got to be on a waiting list, which is huge at the moment.
It's like that with like a lot of the counselling, mental health. Even like I went through a journey with trying to get diagnosed with ADHD, just because I had certain little things that were giving me niggles, and I wanted to just see if that was something that might be happening. And the wait list is just stupid long. Like, just to have, I don't know the process, so I don't understand why it's so long. But I think there's also like the funding for stuff like that. There's not much funding or any funding, and all that. It makes it daunting for people like me to go and get. I wouldn't say I need help, but I just wanted to understand. Because there was so many things that was happening in my life that I didn't know why I was different for other people and that sort of thing. So I was like, I just wanted to know. Like, again, I don't know if it was ADHD or something else, but that was what everyone said. Oh, you probably have this. So I was like, maybe I should find out. And then it got too hard, and then I was like, it's not affecting me as much as I think it is. So it's just a mindset for me now, just to move past it. But yeah, it is. The wait list for all that type of stuff is crazy long.
Yeah, it is. And it just makes it feel like it's not important. When I was reaching out for help when I was at Mum's before, because I went through a phase there where I had just had enough. I don't even know how long I had not been asleep for. And I remember going to the hospital for an appointment, and I just could not stop focusing on the clock. And throughout my studies, I've learned about trauma-informed care. And so that's creating a space where there are things around that aren't going to trigger people. And that was not the right space. But I remember sitting in the back of my sacked out Honda and just ringing around for just somewhere for help. And and I cried because there was nowhere for help. Absolutely nowhere. And I couldn't believe it.
Were you too proud to go to your brothers?
Oh, yeah, because I'm the older sibling. I'm supposed to take care of you. And they always looked up to me. I taught them how to karate kick. I taught them how to steal. I taught them how to survive. So, definitely pride was huge. And in myself. That's why I had to hide. Yeah.
I have a question about, you said that you have been in a relationship since recovering. Are you still in that relationship?
No.
Do you, so in regards to the relationship stuff, you said you had a wall up. Do you think that one of the reasons why is because your kids have obviously gone through what they've gone through, and you don't want them to, the risk of them to go through that as well. Again, bringing back to the inner child, you don't want that to be a part of their inner child. So do you think that that's another reason why you might have a wall up?
No, to be honest, it's you know, when I look back, it's seeing his inner child, seeing that he has a lot of work to do, and I can't hold that space for you, because I'm still working on me, and who you are at the moment doesn't align with who I'm wanting to become. So yeah,
So he's the wrong person.
Sorry, I didn't mean directly him. Sorry, I mean just in general. You spoke about how it's been hard for the relationship side and that sort of thing. So I mean, like in general, is that maybe one of the reasons why you have another wall up, or that wall up?
No, I think it's exactly that. Like I don't. How can I put it? It's not like I look at people and I see the inner child and you've got your stuff you need to deal with. I think I'm just fully focused on me. Like, I've spent all of my life trying to
please other people.
Yeah, and gain their love, and when all along I just needed my own. So if I'm giving to others, what do I have to give myself? Yeah,
that makes sense.
And you know, in saying that, my 18-year-old, I feel like there's good aspects and bad, but he's like, yeah, I don't need a relationship. You know, I have influenced him in that exact same way, which I'm actually kicking myself for, because I want him to go out and experience a crush or, you know, a first kiss and connecting. But yeah, he's kind of just chosen how I've influenced him not to. And, you know, I'm like, I want grandchildren.
There's time.
Yeah. So yeah, I am like now seeing aspects of my journey and how it has impacted them, good and bad. Yeah. And will continue to.
So I say it is hard to be a parent, because that, like, every single thing that we do will influence our kids, and that's again something that's really influenced my decision since becoming a parent, is realizing the effects that it could have on them in the future, and the way that they look at things, exactly how you've said, and we've discussed the natural things that are happening that aren't natural, but you think they are as a kid. The same thing as, like, I grew up, I haven't spoken much about my upbringing and stuff, but like I grew up, my mum and her friends used to drink and stuff, so I always thought that drinking was natural, and then I abused alcohol for 7 to 10 years. I drank a lot, 3 times a week, all the time. It wasn't to the point that I was ruining my life, but I was just making dumb decisions and doing that, and I didn't see that until we had this conversation right now. I didn't see that, and I was like, maybe it was because I saw it all the time that I thought it was normal. So you've actually brought something up in me, which is weird. So yeah, so that's healing for me. That's like, that's cool. And yeah, like I said, like once I had kids, I started to realize the things that I didn't want them to think was a natural thing to be around. So I've started removing that. So because even when we had my youngest, current youngest, we would sometimes have people over and we'd have a couple of drinks and the kids would be there, but it wouldn't be like a party. It'd be like we'd have a couple of drinks, watch the rugby, something. And I've fully removed that now. I don't want them around that sort of stuff anymore, because I don't want them to see it as normal, and then they'll start drinking from a young age and thinking it's normal and stuff. So yeah, I think definitely all of our decisions are massive for our kids.
Which is ironic, because none of my kids have smoked, even massive. Touched drugs or drink. Like they're like, it's a waste of money.
Maybe it's reverse effect. Yeah. All the change they've seen in you as well.
Yeah, I think it's more so you at the figure now, the role model, and look at what you're role modeling compared to what it was previously.
Because you've shown them both sides. So and they like this side better. You know what I mean? So that's influenced them to be like, well, then we see that this is the better.
Well, you know, and it's funny because when I came out to them that I was a meth addict, they didn't even, because, you know, our kids, even though they're there, they don't take notice of a whole lot. Like, they would have seen all the domestic violence and things, but they never seen the smoking of the drugs or anything like that. So yeah, coming out and telling them what meth was and what it does to you, and this is why, then they went, oh.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if we go back sorry, to the abuse that you suffered as a child, has that person been held accountable?
Yes.
Was that a part of healing the inner child?
So one of them was, one of them still not. So I actually haven't touched base on that. Like, it was more in counselling I did, and I realised, oh shit, yeah, that's actually disgusting, because what had happened, I didn't see it as sexual abuse, right, until I brought it up in counselling. And then obviously knowing that, because when it happened to me, I was young, had to go to court, but be on a TV screen. He was convicted and he actually died in prison and things like that.
Hallelujah.
But as an adult, still not clicking dots that it was still sexual abuse, you know, because growing up, you only, like, you hear like rape is sexual abuse, but yeah, learning that a simple act of something else was sexual abuse. So yeah, healing the inner child in terms of that part began like 2 years ago, and I had a diary, and I would, all of her thoughts and feelings, bring it out. And at the time, my daughter was 9, and so letting out all the feelings in this book, and then looking up and seeing my daughter at 9 years old, it broke my heart. So it more so opened the door with my inner child to say, look, I am here, and it's okay. Yeah. So definitely, there's just different ways of doing it. Yeah.
And that kind of thing behind closed doors, kept secret, it's actually just a hard, it's really hard out, just the amount of, like, you wouldn't expect it to be that widespread. It is an issue. It's an actual legitimate thing. And for somebody yourself that has, you know, had to revisit that past and try to deal with the trauma that stemmed from it, what is something that you think it would be to say to people out there that are hearing this that may not have identified what that was, or, you know, maybe even still experiencing that pattern, what that situation, what would you say?
I think honestly, just I don't know if we touched on it, but there is a saying that says, and I live by it, is if you don't go within, you go without. So removing all the ugliness of the world, the noise, and just being able to connect within, so with your inner child, whatever that feels or sounds or looks like, and just really listen, because that is where you're going to find the answers and the courage to do what needs to be done.
And would you recommend that EMDR process to connect, or is there other means that you do that? Like you said, writing in a diary, right? That was another level of what you've done in that space.
I think EMDR is best done with your counsellor or therapist first, because it can be quite draining the first and second time. And learning how to come out of it, because you can actually stay there. It's like, you can actually stay there, so it's just safer if you are with a professional to do it, and then you can learn how to tap into it on your own.
It's a powerful topic. I don't want to speak out of place, but I guess it is in place. But we went through process of that with my wife to put her abuser behind bars, and man, it's just such a journey. I had to be on that journey with her.
Yeah.
And the healing that started from that process is, I'm so glad that I was there to hold her hand through the process and stuff like that. But that's just why so sorry. It's hard. It's hard because it's so real. Like, there's so many people out there getting just, and look at what happens.
Yeah.
Look at the knock-on effect.
And it's just all stems from secrets generations and generations back, and no one having the courage to speak up. Yeah, because they want to be accepted, they want to stay safe. It's the cycle replaying. Yeah,
It's that normality as well.
yeah. And it's stuff that I was born to stand out.
And you broke that intergenerational, as you said.
The outspoken ones, as they say. And that's the funny thing throughout my healing journey is I've learnt, no wonder me and my mum clashed so much. She was able to, a year or so ago, open up about her childhood, which you don't really get from your parents, right? And I got to understand a lot of why she is the way she is, why she parented in the way that she did, and a lot of similarities between us, and it's just brought us so much closer. Yeah, definitely. Love the journey. Always a student, never an expert, even in my own journey, yeah.
With your journey, have you had any, temptation's probably still there. Have you had any relapses, or how have you stopped that thought?
I mean, that's funny, and there'll be probably a lot of people out there who will have dreams that they've relapsed, and you wake up and you think, that it's real. That's probably the closest I've been to relapse. We've been to a client's house before, and there was a meth pipe on the grass verge. I just went over and kicked it in the gutter, and I was so mad and just stood on it. Yeah, no relapse. From my experience, I didn't like it to begin with. It's a devil of a thing, eh? I don't know how it even got me hooked, because I didn't even like anything about it. But I just still reached for it.
Did that become your safe space?
I think so, but then it became my hell, because I was just doing so much up here, and isolating, that I went nuts. I really lost myself, eh? I had to lose myself to find myself.
That's, beautiful. You go back to the house and you said that you were paranoid and psychosis and you're locking the doors and the police are coming and checking in that. How come the police aren't doing more in that situation? How come they ain't identifying what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know, and I'm sure they had their suspicions, eh? I ended up, they gave me a ride, me and my kids, to my mum's house, and they were talking about methamphetamine, and I says, I've had some of that, and they go, oh, that stuff gives you paranoia. I says, yeah, I know, but that was probably about it, because I hadn't done anything wrong, and they were just getting me to a safe place with family. So
was it very common around this time, do you think? So
maybe.
They were maybe it was too hard for them to police, or they just didn't want to.
I think it's too common all the time.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not aware. I'm not.
I think I just wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I was asking them for help to take me somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to touch on the challenge addict.
Yeah.
Just quickly. So I saw you did your first, was it a quarter marathon Ironman? Is it?
Iron Maori.
Iron Maori, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whereabouts was that?
In Napier.
Oh, yeah, cool. So how many Ks is that?
10.5.
Was that hard training?
So I trained for about 3 months leading up to. Never run.
Yeah.
I was always wanted to become a runner. I was always first, second, or third in the cross country here at Whoki Beach. It was always Lisa Slobey was always first.
That's my old boss's
Oh,
sister.
Yeah. And then I think Crystal Porema was always second, and then it was out of me and my best mate Prunella being third. So yeah. Training 3 months leading up to, and yeah, it was hard. It's more mentally challenging. Because I think on the 12th of May this year, a year off vaping.
Yeah, massive.
Bucky, actually.
Yeah, massive. That's
Bucky. Cuzzy Trev, you need to just follow in these footsteps.
And Mum, if you're watching.
Yeah, and Mum.
And so, yeah, the breathing, the diet. This time last year, I was the heaviest I've ever been, because I was hapu, ready to drop. I was 97 kgs. So it's actually been like a whole water journey leading up to. But in February or March this year, I just decided, because Iron Māori was on the 1st of November, which is my birthday, that for my 37th birthday, I'm not getting lit. I'm going to go and do a quarter marathon.
That's cool.
Massive.
Yeah.
That's cool. What an
That's cool,
alternative.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about doing one for ages. I always try and go for runs, and I can probably run. I reckon at the moment I could go out and run maybe 5Ks without training.
Yeah.
But the thought of going any longer, I reckon I would pass out.
I've
I
done
reckon
2
I would.
halves.
Not even a thought. I
2
got
halves of 21.1.
Wow.
that's crazy.
That, bro,
That's the next goal.
it's the most boring thing. Like literally, like
Do you
it's
not
just
put
like,
music in or something?
bro. This was before headphones. Probably I did these in like college years.
Oh right.
But no, it's long. Like I think I did it in an hour 52 or hour
Wow.
53, and that was pretty okay. But I know there was like for me, I always kicked myself because I was trying to set like just my best personal possible time, and somebody that I was running with and had like an asthma attack kind of thing,
Oh.
and that stopped me. And so I kind of catered to that rather than trying to get to the finish line as fast as I could. So I don't know if I went back, I might have to try challenge my best time and get it right this time around. But
That's crazy.
running for that long is so boring, bro. And it's just like, man, this is like running from Fox and Levin. That's all I could keep thinking. Like, I'm on the Ferrokino Bridge now. am I out by Lewis Farms now? Am I by Waitariri Turnout? Like, how far am I on this journey from Fox and Levin? Like 21.1 kilometer run. It's crazy.
But yeah, leading back, what other challenges are you gonna face? So like, do you have anything else on the horizon?
I want to do a half,
Mm-hmm.
which is next year. Get my masters.
Yep, massive.
I don't know, something random and new comes up all the time. But I think going from being an addict and the dopamine you get from that, it kind of just stays the same after a while because tolerance and all that. But being in recovery, man, the spaces, the experiences, and the growth that I've gained from all of these challenges. So some things I never thought I would do. Well, get my kōwai. I'm the first in my whānau line.
Was that a reconnection with your heritage? And
Yeah. So that's another journey I've been on in recovery, is connecting with te ao Māori, my whakapapa, my karanga, which is probably something like more in the spiritual sense goals for me. Bringing that, so revitalising that for my whānau, a lot of disconnection in there for the generations before us. So yeah, reconnecting, being able to open that door, channels for the next generation. Going to study. What else? I'm sitting here like it's bingo and I've got to come up with all these things. But I know I've done a lot.
I think in a whole, you treat every day as a challenge and you just keep pushing yourself to be better. And that's actually, we touched on that, might have been last episode or the one before, about never holding yourself as perfect. Always thinking about what else you can make yourself perfect, make yourself better, I should say, not using the word perfect. But yeah, so I think your challenge addict has become a everyday thing of like taking every day as it comes and living it to the best that you can.
Yeah.
So that's
mean, there's the other side to that is, and I've shared it in my group, is that like I find my worth in doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not facing a challenge, sometimes I can go back to like I'm not worthy within myself because I'm not overcoming something or doing something new. Yeah. So it's a wānanga I always have to go back in and say like that's enough.
I think I went through that a little bit when me and Shania first met. I made a lot of changes in life to be better for her and Ivy, and then I kind of went on a spiral. Maybe 3 months after Layla was born, I started to go back into a hole. Started drinking again. Got lazy around the house. Started to go back downhill, and then it just took me. There was a moment when Layla started speaking, and I just had this weird switch. I can't remember exactly what the moment was, but I had this weird switch that I'd made all those changes, and then I'd just fallen into a hole again, and I needed to do better for my kids, and then that was just this massive I don't know, it was like, what do they call
Wake
it?
up call. What is the
Epiphany.
boob lady on
Epiphany.
Boob lady?
Yeah, off Simpsons.
Can you sing the song?
No. But yeah, I had like this, I don't know what it was.
It's
but it was-
epiphany is
it
the
was
word.
an
Eh?
epiphany, yeah, and I just, yeah, I think since...
Ooh, that's what she does.
So you wanted to do it. But yeah, I don't know. I just had this weird sense of I really needed to make these changes. And I think, yeah, since then it's just been incredible. I think I've just had this, like, I'm the same now. If I'm not doing something, I feel lazy. Like, I keep trying to give myself things to do. If I'm sitting on the couch for too long, I'm like, man, I need to get up and go and vacuum or something. Like, I'll find something on the floor to vacuum or something. I don't know. I just feel like I've got to do something. It's like,
That
I'll hit
sounds more
Dilz
like
up.
your ADHD.
I don't know.
That's undiagnosed.
But it's even like with you, like I'd be like, oh, hey, can I do this or something random? I'll be like, oh, I'll do this or I'll pop out here. But then again, maybe it is ADHD because I'll come out here, I'll sit there and look at the computer for 45 minutes and I'll be like, oh, I got to do this. And then I'll get distracted and I'll go and do something else. And then, yeah.
You put too much on your plate all at once without finishing the kai and, you know.
I'm good at doing the dishes from start to finish. I'm getting good at that.
Whack with the tea towel if you don't.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
I think when like what were you speaking on before when you were talking about the challenges? Oh, so you're doing like the challenge, you call it that challenge addict concept.
Yeah.
I think you've replaced that. You're not getting dopamine from a drug anymore. Now you've found another means of just living life and getting dopamine. I think that's really important. Like anybody out there, like they just need to reconnect with life sometimes, like the real world. Like put your phone down. We say this like nearly every podcast episode. Put your phone down and go for a swim or go for a bushwalk or go for a run and look at where that's taken you. Like I think people need to reconnect with the physical world more.
Yeah. Or what is it you truly desire, because we're all worthy of that. And what have you always dreamt of? Just go and do it. Go try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
Yeah.
Jump.
I always say to my kids, which they absolutely hate, but I know it's a motto that will stay in the whānau for years, but how do you get better at something? And they always roll their eyes and say, by doing it. But that, like, I always stick that in there because I don't want them to give up.
Yeah, 100%.
You can have excuses or results.
But not both.
I say that all the time. I live by that. I went for a one-on-one with one of my staff members today, and we're walking around the block, and he was talking to me about his gym journey. And I said, back when I was 14, I read on the wall, you can have excuses or results. You can't have both. And I was at the gym, and it was like, okay, I'm going to apply that. Yeah. And then I applied it at the gym, and now I just apply it through life. Everything I do, it's like a discipline. Like it kicks in my discipline. Yeah. And it's like, well, if I don't do that, I'm not going to get results. So it's engraved. And that's why when you said, they roll your eyes and say that, these guys all around me, they'll do the same.
Yeah.
But no, that's really, really neat. I just, thank you for coming on here. There was a moment there when you were talking about the cross country, and shout out to Blake Dykstra, who was always my bloody enemy on that cross country field. I won the interschools once in Shannon, and that's because he wasn't there, because he just wasn't, like, he didn't make it because he didn't come to cross country that time. So, but you were talking about like the people in, naming, and it just made me like just identify with the fact that like there's real people in all your circle, and you've allowed yourself to strip back yourself and talk about your journey from start to finish and the stuff that you've experienced. And, these people were in the background or, connected to you at times throughout this, but a lot of people will be hearing all of that for the first time. Yeah. I imagine, you've shared your story and stuff like that. I've seen the Stuff News article, for example. But like, you've gone quite vulnerable in yourself to allow yourself to speak on everything that we've just talked about. Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming through and, being honest, being open and having these conversations with us. Anybody out there that's suffering from addiction, what would you say is a piece of advice for them? And anybody who's in recovery right now, what would you say is a piece of advice for them?
I think I don't know. It's hard to talk to somebody in addiction. But I suppose it's, is this the life you want to settle for? Yeah. Is this what you represent and what your whakapapa is, for the next line as well? Think about them. Is this what you want for them? And someone in recovery, if you can spread your light on someone in the darkness, then do so. And, you know, recovery is only just the beginning of the journey. It's the healing for the rest of your journey that matters. Yeah.
Do you still have anybody in like your family or friends circles that are in active addiction? Do you find it hard to be around them if you do?
Yeah, so baby daddy's still in active addiction.
The one from the like the beginning, right?
Yeah. And we just lost his mum to cancer in June. And I became her full-time carer so she was diagnosed October last year. I became her full-time carer in March this year. And he's the only child. So it is really hard watching him go through this journey. Family is a huge value for me. So no matter what chapter I'm in, I'm always going to take care of him because he's family. He's my kid's dad. He also has an influence in how our whānau is going to be shaped in some way, shape or form. But he also has an inner child that hasn't been loved or cared for in the way that he needed. So if I can help guide him at some point when he's ready, then I will.
That takes so much strength because this is the same person, one, that got you into the cycle, and two, the same person that, he introduced you to the cycle, but if it's still ongoing, you're risking your sobriety and stuff like that, but you're obviously in a space in yourself where you're power enough, you're strong enough to be able to. I think that
shows a lot of integrity and courage,
and resilience, that other word you used.
And it's not his fault. I don't put any blame on him whatsoever. Throughout my journey and self-discovery, I've learned it's all from my upbringing, my journey. Placing blame isn't gonna do anything. And no matter, and I suppose the more that I can continue to care, heal, love and protect myself, then the stronger I become, and not as vulnerable to that world, and that's also why I love facilitating. I love that space. It's the only space in the real world where it's accepted, and just like in here as well. But in the real world, addicts are looked down upon. So just being able to be part of that space as well. That's a lot of my healing and recovery journey in that room. Even though I'm a facilitator, I'm no higher or lower. I'm just right beside them, and
you're changing lives,
them
though.
the same.
You'll be changing lives. Like if you're shining a beacon of light on just even one person, you're creating a different pathway of their life journey by being there in that position at that time for these people. So massive respect to you for being in that space.
Yeah. Well, they have so much potential. It's just underneath all of that. Yeah.
I've got a cousin and he's always been back and forth with addiction, and I've always been that go-to and safe space for him when he needs to, and I've never ever given up on him. I've taken space away from him if I need to, but if he called out, I'm there. Yeah. It's so hard though, because you wish you could just change it for them, but you can't.
Nah,
they need to see it.
Yeah. And sometimes they got to hit that rock bottom more than once, eh?
Have a boob lady moment.
Epiphany.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of whānau out there as well, dealing with members who are addicts. And what my whānau taught me is that the only thing you can do is just be there, like you were just saying. You can't actually help them you can't help them. They have to want to help themselves. You can go out there and search for support resources like our group and things and get support for yourself, and then when they're ready, have it ready for them. But other than that, it is quite sad. There's nothing you can do.
Is there any specific tools that you would tell somebody to use?
Definitely remove yourself from what you're comfortable with, so the people. Don't stop cold turkey straight away. You know, even just not having a puff one day, you know, is progress. But really, it's what do you want more for yourself, or is this it?
Which goes back to what you said your piece
Yeah.
of advice would be. You just need to have that wake up.
Can it be quite dangerous if you stop cold turkey?
Well, it's just that your body's just going to want it straight away because it hasn't had any at all. It's just like a coffee, right? Do you drink coffee?
I love coffee.
I do, but I don't get withdrawals. I have 2 coffees a day, but if I went 3 days without one, I don't think I'd notice.
I notice a change in my attitude. Not that I'm like mad or anything, but I notice that like I'm less patient in the mornings. I think it's like my routine now.
Yeah, exactly. So you know something's missing. So it's just knowing something's missing, but it depends on the amount that the person consumes or is used to consuming as well. Yeah, it's hard. So my experience wasn't a good one compared to many of the other walks where I found that they had positive experiences. So I feel like it was easier for me personally to be able to stop and just not go back because I wanted more for myself. And once I started overcoming the small challenges and getting the natural dopamine, I just wanted to chase the bigger challenges and grow into more than who I was. And that's the other thing I was thinking about too is, you know, I don't like to partake in or associate with anything that's not going to help myself or others grow. You know, they always say like, oh, you grow up fast. It's not really about growing up, It's just about growing in general.
You said the same about the shaved balls at the start.
Did I?
Yeah, you said, well, I don't associate with myself with talking shit because it's not going to benefit me or something like that. Something that I've always had in the back of my mind, I went to a leadership conference and somebody's slogan on their presentation slide at the bottom was things don't happen by chance, they happen by change. And I think that's quite a impactful thing, like what you said. You need to remove yourself from your surroundings and take away your comfort zone and identify that. And I think that statement is quite, you know, it comprehends with that situation. Kazi, DJ, TJ, did you have any questions over there in the hot seat behind the 1s and 2s?
The blank look on his
falling
face.
Asleep.
Nah, to be fair, you guys actually covered like most of the questions I actually have. So yeah,
cool, brother.
Nice.
Did you have any other questions?
I had a quick look before, but I've had a lot of my questions or my notes. I've managed to click in, so I'm grateful. That was massive. I've learned a lot, and it's always nice to hear the perspectives of people on the other side or who have been on the other side as well. Because again, I've never been around that drug, and I said it in Hunter's episode as well. I don't know what the effects are on people. I haven't seen it. I've never, so it's helpful for me because, like you said, people get judged for being an addict and stuff. And I wouldn't say I judged someone, but there is a stigma around people doing that drug, especially.
And what are we about?
Breaking that stigma.
Exactly.
100%. And and again, a lot of any issue these days or things that people go through is from trauma or upbringing or any of that stuff. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for sharing your story and being so open with us about it and allowing us to come onto our platform and share that story. So thank you. It was awesome. And yeah.
And me too. I said that before. Thank you for coming in here and being so transparent and vulnerable. And I hope somebody out there hears this episode that needs to hear it. There's the chance that somebody might tune in that has gone through some childhood trauma and hasn't identified that or is going through XYZ, and you might have dropped some gems in there that they could listen to. So the power of these conversations, I just hope this gets heard by somebody.
Yeah.
It's been cool having you come through and get to know you. Thank you for accepting our invitation to the Making a Statement podcast. And that's where I usually ask. So we've been given the title, the branding of the #1 podcast in the Horowhenua and the Manawatu right now. And our aim is to keep taking that further until we're the #1 podcast in the country. It's, just trying to take it as far as we can take it. But what do you think of the Making a Statement podcast?
Oh, I think it's cool. Especially being from Whoki Beach, it's a cool kaupapa to have. It's a safe space, a voice for the voiceless.
That's a powerful statement. I might have to grab that.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. And I feel really privileged to be able to come back home to my tūranga waiwai and share and be vulnerable. And it's ironic that the safe space is back home.
Yeah. And I've got to admit, you coming from here is definitely part and parcel. I was like, I'm definitely going to give you some attention and bring you through. And because I'm all about uplifting and bringing, spotlight on our locals and that. Like, we've got this platform where I've got people in my inbox that have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. But at the same time, that, for me, it doesn't necessarily make their story just as important as the next person's. We've kind of stripped away that. You don't need a platform. We just want to have a conversation with somebody. That conversation hopefully helps somebody. That's kind of what we've done with this podcast. That's how you break the stigma. We're talking to people that walk everyday lives. Like you said at the start, you got into the position you're in through life experience. We want to hear these life experiences because there's people out there. There's all these stigma on the life experiences. So people aren't talking about it. So people get stuck in these patterns and they're stuck in abuse and they feel like there's no one to talk to. But sometimes they need to hear somebody like yourself that has gone through X, Y, Z. And now look at where I am and they want to be in that position. So it's very powerful bringing you on here. Thank you for coming. Did you have any questions for us?
Pardon me, I just burped.
That's all right.
Before I ask a question,
no, I don't. That's you.
Before I ask a question, I just do want to say that this is my story, and just like anyone else who wants to share their story as well, don't sit there and have any fears that you're going to offend any of your family with your truth, because it's your story, and it's your way of healing and also holding them accountable. And if they have issues with it, then that's on them, you know. So thank you for providing a space for myself and my inner child to heal that little bit more. And my question would be, if you could go back and give some love or advice to your inner child, what would that be?
You can start.
Give you more time to think. I would say listen to my parents or my mum and my grandparents, my uncle more. Listen to the things that they're trying to teach me. Take a bit more advice from them, because there's a lot of times where they had said, or maybe you shouldn't hang out with that person anymore. They're influencing you in the wrong way. Or maybe you shouldn't do that. I was allowed the opportunity to make the decisions for myself. And I think mine and my mum's bond is so strong because she allowed me the trust to make my own decisions and to learn, but with giving me knowledge along the way. So kind of trying to lead me this way, but then allow me to make the decision for myself, which I think has helped me in my later years. But yeah, I think if I could have just listened a few times, it would have made my life a bit easier while I was younger and stopped a few of the silly mistakes that I made, or lessons I learned would have been there, So yeah, I think just take more on board from what your parents are saying. Really, that would be my message.
Kazi, DJ, TJ?
I'm still young.
I'm still a child.
If I had to say something to my younger self, that I'm already young, but my more younger self, I would say don't pick up a vape.
Yeah.
Now, obviously I vape, but I don't enjoy it anymore.
So there's your ticket out of it.
Yeah, low key.
You obviously don't want it anymore, so now's your chance to put it down.
Yeah.
And it's 11:11.
Hey, what a day to do it.
Yeah.
Do it at 11.
Yo, have your last one at 10:59.
No, have your last one at 11:11 on 11:11.
If I'm being honest,
at 11 seconds of 11:11.
When she was talking about addiction, saying, "Oh yeah, just not liking it. I started looking at this. I was like, I don't really want to do it anymore. But it's kind of hard because it's something I rely on as well.
You're used to it.
Yeah.
The podcast is already making a statement and breaking stigmas, and it hasn't even been released. It's only been in this room already. So that's powerful.
So
We'll
can
get
I
an-
just say with my vaping experience, I assessed when I vaped the most, and that was on my commute to work from Palmy to Fielding. And so I made sure that the coil in it was burnt to fuckery. And there was no juice in it, but as long as my mind could see it was accessible, then it didn't freak out. But if I was going to puff it and I was really needing one, it was going to taste like crap. So for 2 weeks, I just made sure I could see it. And then after that 2 weeks, I put it in the bin. That was it. It was like, it's a way of tricking your mind.
Yeah. It reminds me of the nail polish on the fingernails when you don't want to.
That's what we've been doing to our kids, eh? Because our kids have been biting their nails, so we did the nail polish, eh?
Yeah.
We got it from your house.
Do you still have my nail polish?
No, you used it at your house.
And then you went and bought some.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I chuck it on the kids because they picked it up after me. I've got a nail biting habit.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been doing really well. I want to actually go to get a manicure. I think that will be quite an achievement and accomplishment.
I got a pedicure a couple times now. I love it.
That's
It's like my guilty pleasure. We go on holidays, eh? And I'm like, yo, babe, should we get a pedicure? The other day, because obviously she's 9 months pregnant, we were like, what can we do to bring out some, I think it's the dopamine or endorphins the hormone that helps bring on labour. And we're like, maybe we should go get a pedicure. And then she's like, well, I don't like my feet being touched. I was like, I do.
I've been to Thailand and had the fish eat my feet.
Your message.
Well, one of the things as well, I'm going to go back because he was talking about kind of a lesson, something he was connecting to with what you were saying during the podcast. And like you were talking about your domestic abuse cycle and that, and like I'm not going to sit there and talk about the whole thing, but like I can identify with that because I went through my own, like, as a male, there's a stigma on that, but I went through my own bloody abuse cycle, emotional abuse, fucking manipulative and violent and crazy. And there is, for that some reason you go back. I don't know. What is the reason? Why do we do that? I don't know. I think it could come down to self-worth and self-value. It could come down to patterns, and it could come down to naiveness. There's all these different reasons why people go back. I don't think I would ever really identify. It's just like a mindset, it takes self-reflection to go back and look at that situation for what it was.
Yeah.
Because whilst you're in it, you don't understand it. In that moment and the decisions that stem from it, they say love is blind because you make stupid decisions, I think, as well in that space.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about you just kept going back and that, I thought in my head about, that does happen. Like I've been in that same situation and I can't say why, like I can't answer. It's just your instinct, your comfort spot, and that's what you know, and that's what's normal. If I had to do inner healing with my child, that's a hard one because I definitely can't complain about my upbringing. I had such a great family and parents and upbringing in childhood. And even though like I was in that environment with, walk into the kitchen and they got the spots on, or go out in the shed and the heater's on or whatever, for some reason as a kid, I was never drawn to it. I don't know why. That's what adults do. And so I didn't really connect with me wanting to do it. And then I thought another funny thing, as you said about gateway drugs. And for me, I tried like MDMA and ecstasy and stuff before I even tried weed. So I did things backwards. But I don't know. There's just a few things that were coming to mind. I was trying to think back to like, what would that advice to my inner child be? And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to think on that further because I'm like the concept of inner child. I think there's quite a lot of power in everything you're saying. Like it's more than just a message to yourself. It's a compartment within your brain that you're kind of unlocking and discovering. I feel like everybody could probably benefit from some revision in that space and some healing in that space, even if you are like myself. And I did have a pretty good, upbringing. I definitely think there's compartments that could be reviewed. So I'm going to actually take that away and I'm going to think about it and I'm going to reflect
Homework.
on this and do some homework.
Maybe I should have said then, but a lot of people go to physical. What's a way you could love yourself in a way that no one else can? Because that's usually your inner child, like it's really deep anyway. I'm a deep person, so
It's good to be deep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna think on it, and I don't know, maybe next podcast episode I'll just randomly drop it. So stay tuned. I will. I'm gonna actually have a think. I actually want to give that a real, because you've talked about this whole episode with that being just a forefront of kind of everything.
Yeah.
The recovery journey. It's a part of the abuse cycle that you were stuck in as a child. What led you to the abuse cycle that you ended up in as an adult, and your addiction. So it's kind of been the substance of everything. So I actually want to take that away and have a think and come back with a legitimate answer. So thank you for putting some awareness on that space, helping us do what we do, and that's breaking the stigma.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to touch on or speak on before we finish up?
I think, like you were saying, you don't actually know why we end up going back and things. And if I can go to like a scenario that would happen with my kids, sometimes I'll get overstimulated. It's dinner time and something's happening, and you kind of just like blow up, And what I've learned through my counselling is that you can break something, but it needs to be repaired. And so growing up, I always thought if someone hurt you, they've got to come back and apologise, and then it's all better, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Some people ain't going to own that they've hurt you. So you have to repair yourself. So maybe that is why we go back, because at that moment in time, nothing's done about, whatever's happened, like the domestic violence or something. It's just kind of put under the carpet. And then until something re-triggers and it happens again, and then nothing's done again, nothing's repaired.
Make-up sex just becomes a thing, and now it's forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, as you said that, my brain went back to the mentality. I remembered almost what, like, I would think in my head at sometimes, and it literally is down the line of what you just said. And it was, I didn't ever believe in marriage. Like, my parents aren't married, so that's maybe the reason why. But I also kind of seen it as a religious thing, and I don't believe much. I don't have that in me. So for me, I always thought I don't need a wedding ring to show this person I love them. I'll just love them. And then as a part of marriage, I will love you through sickness and through health. I'll love you through better and for worse. And, that's what I was engraving in my head and trying to stand on. Like, well, she's not my wife, but she's not going to become my wife because I don't want to get married. But doesn't mean I can't bring into this relationship the same morals and virtues that you would stand on in a marriage, And so I used to see it as, this is the sickness, and this is the worst. But in a marriage, you see it through. And I remember that used to be my justification. It used to be why, like, something that I convinced myself of as to be a reason. And yes and no. Like, yeah, we should be there for somebody's worst, but their worst shouldn't be treating you
at your expense.
Nah. So, you can look back and identify that, but in that time and in that moment, I remember that was something that I used to think and used to justify myself with.
Yeah.
And then, like, this is, I don't think I've told this story on the podcast. I don't think I've really told this story so much, but I, like, for example, crazy ass ex, and something would happen next minute, she's trying to smash up the Xbox or smash up the car or kill herself or throw this or hit with that and stab me with this and hit, crazy shit. And I remember, because it would just take not much, a neck minute trigger, neck minute, that's what we're dealing with. And I came into the partnership with my wife now, and it wasn't that long into our relationship. It might have been 6 months or something. And we had not long moved in with each other. And I remember she had made the bed and, cleaning it up, making the house look good and that. And we jumped in the bed and we had a coffee and we were watching a movie. It was movie night or something. And I spilt my coffee all over the blanket. Yeah, I spilt my coffee, and bro, all my instincts were just what it used to be. What would happen from that? Oh, you just made the bed and I spilled a coffee on it. Oops, but that wouldn't be what it would escalate. It would become something massive, and it happened, and like all my previous feelings, I guess, kind of came into me, and I was like, what's happening now? What's going to, and she made another coffee or made the bed and I made another coffee, and it was, well, that's the normal way that should actually happen, right?
Yeah.
I've spilled coffee on the bed. Oh, it's my bad. Make the bed again, make another coffee. But that isn't the relationship I came from. And it was actually at that moment, I was like, I'm going to propose to her because this is love. This is a relationship.
Yeah.
This is what it's supposed to be. So yeah, that was my moment, is like coming from the background I came from.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for, you're sitting here making all of us think. So I'm looking forward to hopefully what you guys out there in the comment sections and out there watching this and hearing this out there. You can check us out on Spotify, makingestatement.co.nz. We've got everything over there, including our merch, which you can see everywhere here. You can get it at 41 Main Street, Foxton and Care Design. So thank you so much to the Care Design team who helped me distribute a clothing brand right here in the heart of Foxton and keeping that business local, as well as there's Afterpay available on the website. Before we wrap up, I want to shout out Kazi DJ TJ for running the ones and twos behind the camera. Thank you so much, Samantha, for joining us here on the Making a Statement podcast. I think it's another powerful episode.
Sam. I was going to say at the start, you said Samantha, and
Samantha's too good.
I saw your email and it said Sam, and I was like, I should say something. And I was like, she didn't correct him. I'll just leave it.
I'm corrected. I stood corrected. Sam. So thank you for coming through. And was there anything else from yourself, Brother E?
Grateful.
Oh, shit.
You almost forgot what we're grateful for.
We'll quickly run through that. What are you grateful for? For the week that's been.
Just one thing.
Have a voice.
Massive.
Yep.
Cool.
Kazi
Kazi,
DG Day.
you're just eating those marshmallows still.
Sorry, I'm eating those marshmallows.
So he's eating, what is it?
Dehydrated marshmallows.
Dehydrated marshmallows.
Oh, I'm going to try one of
The
those.
weirdest thing.
Hey, can you actually bring that here? We'll try it now. True reviews.
Tuck the bag over and then tell us what you're grateful for.
Oh, there's only 4 left.
Oh, there's 3 of us.
Don't judge. They're in a 2X bag.
I was
A
judging
Turk's
that.
chicken bag. That's what I was saying.
Shout out local business.
Damn it, I was meant to save some for movie night tonight.
What were we planning to say for?
Well, not anymore. But yeah, those are dehydrated bags.
I'm interested though.
Dehydrated marshmallows.
It really just reminds me the taste, the shape, the flavour, the texture of those sticks, those tangy sticks. That doesn't taste... Oh, no, it tastes like marshmallow. Tangy stick
Tastes
marshmallow.
like the candy stick smoke.
It does!
There was so many in that bag when we started the episode, Trev. Have you literally eaten that whole bag?
No.
Every single time, which there hasn't been too many, but it's been sporadic throughout the entire length of this episode. When it's gone to his mic, he's been chewing them.
Right, Trev, what are you grateful for?
I was grateful for those.
Opportunities.
I was grateful for those marshmallows until I ate them all. Don't worry, my nan still has like 2 more bags at her place.
Shout out, Nan.
Yeah, shout out Nan. But yeah, I'm grateful for opportunities. Yeah.
Massive. That's it?
Oh no, actually, I'm grateful for my parents because they are now, obviously, they're now giving me that next step to adulthood, giving me my own first home soon. So yeah, grateful to them.
Shout out
And
your
also
parents.
for
Shout out.
birthing me. Yeah.
You're fucking A, shout out your parents.
Yeah. I am grateful for midwives. That's what I'm grateful for. We have a really, really good midwife. Shout out Emily. And she's really good at making us feel comfortable when we're uncomfortable. So any questions we have, she's really good. We've had nothing but good experience with her. So I'm grateful for her this week because I've been a little bit nervous and stuff. And she just always makes me feel comfortable again. And yeah. So, and my wife. Shout out my wife. She's massive.
Yeah.
She's awesome and the bomb.
I'm going to say this time around, I'm going to say I'm grateful for my followers. And that sounds real generic and like online Facebooky, but like through what's gone on over the weekend and that, man, it's cool to see the support, the people that have reached out, the comments, the love, the people that identify and see what we are doing, what Making a Statement's about and what we stand on for, the understanding. I just, really have felt very uplifted by the people that are tuning into our journey. So, if you guys went out there to consume this, we wouldn't be sitting here doing it, I guess. So I really appreciate you guys. If you're tuned in to me and I'm just me here doing what I do and you're like, I want to follow that, well, thank you.
Mm.
But yeah, this is the Making a Statement podcast, episode 15.
15.
Fuck.
That's
Just
my
growing.
birthday number.
It's growing. I keep in the back of my mind thinking about episode 100. You know, I'm not even.
Ages
No,
away.
I know. But when I'm looking at milestones in that, bro, I'm not looking at episode 25 or 50 or that. I'm just thinking, where are we at episode 100? Where do you think we are? What do you think?
I hope it's not in the summer because it's hot as hell at the moment.
I'm not saying when
I'm
that episode's going to
sweating.
land, but like, just imagine
I have
maybe
no idea.
potentially, are we at that bigger than 1 or 2 and Hora Whanoa's #1 podcast? I've already got that title at episode 15, you know?
Just keep working, bro. That's all I'm going to do is just keep
Yeah.
working. I don't really have an end goal. I'm just like, let's just keep having fun.
We should come up. We should come up, like let people that are tuning in. So if you guys are tuned in out there, we should do something like so that when we hit that 100th episode, it's like something special. Like, you know what I
That'd
mean?
be cool.
We're doing something different, like celebrating it in a way and doing the podcast something different. I don't
Okay.
know. We'll
I
work
like
towards
that.
it. We're planting a seed, but you guys help us think of what that might be. The Making a Statement podcast, that's us. There's nothing else from you, Brother E?
No.
No? Bye?
Bye. I'm Ethan.
Feel
Gonna happen as firefighter, ain't nobody putting it down. I'm holding it down, no common grounds. I'm making a statement is the way to claim that you're running the town.